Let's talk about hygiene spots that actually hold smell nobody talks about. Not just your coochie, but some hidden areas of your body that you don't pay attention to. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your baby girl Lizzie. What's up guys? What's good? So in today's video, we're talking about some overlooked parts of the body that hold odor and also a whole lot of good stuff. From shaving to products to use and how to smell fresh all day, all of those good stuff. So this will be like my very first in the past 3-4 years, and obviously you don't want to miss this video for anything in the world. So let's start with the coochie area. We are more focused on like the inner part of the coochie area. We don't want that place to smell. We keep buying different products, intimate washes, this one, that one. But we forget that there are some hidden parts of the coochie area that we don't focus on. The inner thigh area, the crease area, the folds, the sides, those areas also needs attention, especially if you're a thick girl. Like, even as a slim girl, these parts of your body you also need to pay attention to, because trust me, sometimes it's not really the coochie that's smelling, it's these areas, because these areas hold smell. So make sure when you're having your bath, you've put your focus on these areas. Use really light scented soap. I always use light scented soap, preferably baby soap. Anything baby soap will always work. Okay, like I know there's a whole lot of feminine washes and all of that you used, but I would recommend you using baby soap. Like, it is so gentle, so mild, unscented, and you know, because they are made for babies, they are also really very safe. So make sure you wash those areas really very well. Have a wash clothes. Okay, I have 2 wash clothes for my back and my front. We're going to get to that. So for my front, the washcloth I use for my front, I make sure I use it to go around all those corners, the folds, the creases. I go everywhere, trust me, and I wash. Okay, sometimes I use my African sponge, but I know that sometimes the African sponge don't necessarily get to every corner. Okay, so the washcloth helps because I'm like going in, cleaning everywhere. I'm not saying you should put soap into your coochie. That's not what I'm saying. Most times you'll be wondering why you don't feel clean, why you don't feel fresh. It's not like you're dirty. It's not like you've not had your bath. It's not like you didn't use a good soap. It's just that you're skipping some areas. These are some of the areas. All right, another part of your body that holds smell and odor is your inner thighs, especially if they rub together. If you're a thick girly, you always have issues with that part rubbing together. You want to always make sure that you focus on that area. Like, God, I didn't know that part can smell, but it does smell. Okay, so make sure whenever you're having your bath, put your focus on your inner thighs. Wash it very, very well, and make sure you try to exfoliate your inner thighs. Like, that is like a must for me. I always do that. So I exfoliate my inner thighs 3 times a week. That's what I do. But for my overall body, I do that twice a week. But my inner thighs, it is 3 times a week for a reason. Because the day I found out, like I said, I was muzzed. If there's a word like that, I was muzzed. Ensure that you focus on your inner thighs because it also holds a lot of smell. Okay. Another thing to have in mind when it comes to your inner thighs is from your inner thighs to the crease area of your coochie. Please, once you're done having your bath, make sure you pat dry. Like, pat dry, because one of the mistakes we also make is when we're drying our body, we don't focus on those areas. We don't put the towel there to really pat dry those areas. Sometimes it's because the area is already moisty, add together with sweat, that makes that place smell. So you want to make sure you always pat dry. Okay, I'm going to tell you other things you can actually do, but make sure you always pat dry, and then use like light scented lotions around that area. Nothing too heavy. That part of your body can actually hold moist a lot, because for the most part it's always closed. Okay, so make sure you use really light lotion around that area. All right, another part I feel like we ignore a lot is the butt crack. The butt crack and your lower behind, like a whole, the kind of smell that can be oozing from there. If you don't focus the cleaning there, bro, it's next to none. So make sure when you're having your bath, you put your soap around there. I personally use a washcloth now. I wasn't doing this like last year, but I started doing this year. Get a washcloth, separate washcloth for your coochie. So you have a separate washcloth for your coochie and a separate washcloth for your butt crack. So I like to go with baby soap, like I said. So I just use my washcloth, and do you understand? And then I go in and I clean my butt crack. I proceed to taking the towel down below and make sure I clean that area very well. If you don't like using soap around these areas, you could use warm water and a washcloth. That can also do it. But for me, water alone cannot do it. I mean, I don't use the scented soap in my coochie, just around it and then behind my butt crack. Okay, guys, I had to do a little switch because the owner of Nigeria has taken light. And yeah, if you're just fine with using just the African sponge, that's okay. But me personally, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use my washcloth because I feel like that's the only way. I just feel like I'm getting rid of the dirty. You get me? So always make sure that you use a washcloth to clean your butt crack. And one tip, I feel like a lot of people still miss till this day. I've had conversations with my friends and they still don't know this. So let me say it today. When you are washing your coochie, make sure you wash from the front to the back. Never wash from the back to the front. Big mistake, okay? Because then you're pushing a whole lot of bacteria to your... You don't want that. Another part of your body that holds a lot of odor would be your belly button. Yes. I knew this like, say, 2-3 years ago. Yeah. It holds a lot of dirty sweat, dirt, just like your ear. That part holds a lot of dirty, trust me. So one thing I do is I just pour water and rinse. Another thing I do to really get into the dirty is get a cotton wool, like a cotton stick. You know, the one that has like a handle. Yes, I use that to go into it, and then I clean the area very, very well. So I don't do this every single day. No, don't do it every single day, please. I didn't send you that. But like once a week or once in 2 weeks, that's okay. One thing I would say is don't overdo it because that area is very sensitive. So don't overdo it. Once a week should actually do this. Me personally, sometimes I go as long as 2 weeks before doing this. Okay, so I don't do it every single day because that area can be very, 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 very sensitive. Just know that your novel also holds a lot of sweat and possible odor. Okay. Another part that I am sure a lot of us are not surprised to hear this is your boob area. Underneath the boob area, whoa, that part holds a lot of dirty. You see the way I talk, a lot of dirty. Normally I sweat under my boobs a lot. Do you understand? I sweat under my boobs a whole lot. Then one particular day, this was like 2 years ago, right? I used a cloth to wipe just because it was just too moisty for my liking because I was sweating there. And when I wiped, it just passed my nose, and I was like, what the hell? What was that? Whoa. Like I always bathe and I wash these areas. Don't get me wrong. I always wash these areas. But there's some extra steps that I had to start taking to make the smell go away because it smells. Okay? It holds smells. If you're a busty babe, it's even worse. So you want to make sure that you always wash that area, even though I was always washing this area back then, like I told you guys. But I sweat a whole lot under there. Like I sweat a whole lot there because one, you are quite blessed. Secondly, you sweat a lot. Even when you don't sweat a lot, trust me, that area holds a lot of smell. Okay, so one thing I started doing was making sure that whenever I'm having my bath, I wash that area very, very well. Another thing I started doing, which I wasn't doing before, was when I'm exfoliating, I move my hand up to that area and I make sure I exfoliate. I practically would put my hand there with my exfoliant and make sure I scrub that area very well. Then when I'm out of the shower, another thing I do is when I'm drying, I make sure I also pat dry this area very, very well, because when there's also a little bit of water around there, it creates moist. It makes that area a bit moisty, and when you sweat, it makes it overly moisty, and before you know it, smell. Before you know it, odor. You don't want that. So what I started doing was I have my bath, exfoliate, like I said, pat dry that area and add a little bit of light powder, not scented, okay? Light powder. I just go in underneath there and it keeps that area very, very dry. As long as these areas are dry, you will not smell. Take, for instance, when you use deodorant on your armpit. You know there's some deodorant that makes your armpit kind of matte. Yeah, so what the powder would do is it makes that area a bit matte, and then you don't produce a lot of sweat. Technically, what the deodorant would do to your armpit is what the powder would do underneath your teeth. So it doesn't make that area sweat and then no smell. So when there's no sweat, there's no smell. So another part that holds a lot of smell is behind your ears. So make sure you go in there, use a washcloth, preferably a washcloth and not a sponge, because most times the sponge don't actually do nothing there. Use a washcloth and go in, make sure you clean properly, like clean. Do you understand? Enter your ear and clean properly. You see a lot of dirty. This area holds a lot of smell, trust me. And honestly speaking, sometimes you think something is smelling, it's here, it's your ear. And your earrings, sometimes take your earrings off, put the washcloth there and clean, because there are some times when you take off your earring after you had it on for a long time and you take it off, the smell. So you want to make sure you do that. You clean your ears, you clean your earring holes, you also clean your earrings, your stud earrings, not like big earrings like this, stud earrings, the one you have on for a very long time, the one you leave on. Yeah, so you want to make sure you always from time to time take it off, clean the earring and clean your earring holes, because they can actually hold smell, and then behind your ears as well. So yeah, that part also holds a lot of smell, just in case you don't know, they do hold smell. So here are a few tips for layering to help you smell fresh and more feminine. So what I like to do is when I have my bath, I don't use anything scented. Like I said, I like baby soap all over, and my private areas I use baby soap. So once I'm done from the shower, I pat dry, and you guys already know, I already told you guys that I use powders underneath my boobs. I use my antiperspirant. Then I go in with a body oil after using my body oil, because the body oil is like sealing moisture on my body, right? So after doing that, I go in with a body mist, light scented body mist. I spray behind my ear, I spray behind my knee, I spray all over my body, but make sure you're spraying only on safe areas. Don't spray on your coochie. Don't do that, please. Okay, that's not good, not safe, and unhealthy for your coochie. So don't spray there. All right, your lower tummy, basically. Okay, once you spray this area, then you go in with your outfit, and then you can now go in with your clothes spray. If you layer this way, you will smell fresh literally the whole day, with all of the steps I've told you guys to go with, how to wash and products to use. Honestly, you are going to smell fresh literally the whole day. Okay, so this one is a bonus point, but very important. Wear breathable clothes. You don't have to wear underwear at night. What are you wearing pants for? Like, sometimes just leave your coochie to breathe, and don't wear tight undies. Like, ditch all the tight undies, because you need space, you need air. Like, most of the times, the reason why that area smells is because you're wearing something too tight. Avoid wearing tight underwears. Avoid wearing heavy materials. Go for like cottons or lacy materials, because they are quite breathable. So I advise you to ditch all your heavy material type pants and go for something really lightweight. I mean, when you're going out, go for like cottons, laces. Those kind of underwears are really breathable and they are light. And then at home, please let it breathe. Just be free. Okay, be Eve at home. Be Eve at home. And if you must, please something breathable. Okay, breathable outfit. All of these can help your body and have space to breathe, because too much tight now, what do they cause the smell? And we don't want to smell in 2026. We want to smell good, we want to smell fresh, we want to be our best self in 2026. So we want to ditch all these old habits. So small habits like this can just make a huge difference. You might think, oh, this is just, but it can make a huge difference. Another tip and DIY that I can share with you guys is hibiscus flower, cloves and honey. Okay, boil. When it's really boiled, you extract the hibiscus leaf and drink the tea first thing in the morning. That would help your coochie a lot. Cranberries will also help your coochie a whole lot. Eat a lot of pineapple. It will help your coochie a whole lot. It helps reduce smell. All this fishy smell is going to help reduce all of that. You don't have to start taking supplements. Like, personally, I don't think, I mean, if that works for you, do that. But honestly, just go natural, and to make a huge difference for you, I prefer natural stuff, because I feel like that helps a lot better. Okay, when it comes to shaving off your coochie area, if you're the blade girly, make sure your blades are always new. I always, after every use, I throw away my shaving sticks. I don't reuse them, except you're buying those reusable type that you can use like 2-3 times. Okay, but personally, when I was using shaving sticks, I just throw away. I buy and throw away. Okay, but if you're going for those reusable type, because there's one I bought one time, it was quite expensive. I had like 3-4 more use out of it, and it was sharp the whole time I used it. So if you're going for those type, then by all means do that. But if you're using those really normal type that you can reuse again, please, once is okay. If you use that twice, it's going to give you bumps. Okay, if you have a sensitive skin and shaving doesn't work for you, then go for shaving creams, shaving gel. Personally, I use the Vit Gold shaving cream, and that is really very, very good for my skin. It works perfectly for my skin. I don't stress with that one. Okay, ever since I started using the Vit Gold shaving cream, I don't think I've had any issues with my skin at all. Like, that area always feels really clean and fresh, and yeah, it just gets the job done. Like, literally, that area feels like a baby's butt every single time I use a shaving cream. So if that works for you as well, you can use that. I always go for the sensitive one because they have the normal regular Vit Gold shaving cream, and then they have one for sensitive skin. So if you have a sensitive skin, go for the sensitive skin one. Okay, I personally go for the one for sensitive skin because, yeah, why not? If shaving sticks doesn't work for you, shaving cream doesn't work for you, then you might want to try the wax method. Waxing method, I feel like, is like a thing for everybody now. Literally everybody. There was a time I was also waxing, but I just feel like the pain was just a whole lot, and I decided to just settle with the shaving cream. So one of this would work for you. Just stick to doing that. And if none of this actually works for you, it's okay to still trim. If you don't want to get everything off, just trim and you're good, honestly. Okay, you don't have to shave everything off if you don't like to shave everything off. So just because everybody's saying shave, 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 doesn't mean you must be like every other person. If what you really like is a little bit of hair around there, then that's okay. Okay, you can just trim and make sure that it's always clean. That's it. All right, what I do that works for me is shaving cream around the area, leave for like 3 to 4 minutes, rinse off, and then I go in with a scrub, and then I scrub. Not a very, very abrasive scrub, please. I use the Dove scrub. That's what I use now. Before I was using the Dr. Teal's one, but now I use the Dove scrub. So I just use that, and then I go in with that area, gently scrub, just to avoid any ingrown hair and bumps and all of that. After doing that, I rinse off, and boom, fresh. Okay, so yeah, this works for me, and it has been working for me. And then once I'm out of the shower, I make sure I pat dry. I pat dry in between. Like I told you guys, I make sure that your entire area in between your coochie area always pat dry. The rolls, make sure you pat dry, because like I said, they can hold smell. All right, basically these are my feminine hygiene routine, and yeah, it's been working for me, and I'm sure it's going to work for you. Let me know what you think about this video, and let me know other kind of videos you'd like to see. And that's about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll definitely catch you guys in my next one.